Yo, what's up y'all? Welcome back to another Roblox Studio video where today we're going to continue on our round system. So in the previous videos I made a basic round system for a free-for-all game mode and for two types of team game modes. And today what I intend to do is to add leader stats to this round system and to add it where you can spawn the players in with a given item such as a sword or a weapon. So anyways, let's just get right into it. The first thing we're going to need to do is go into server script service and add in a new script, and we can just call this leader stats. And the first thing we need to do in this new script is to connect to data store service so we can save all of our data. So local data store service is just going to be game get service data store service. And then we need to get our data store, so get data store, and we can name this whatever we want, but I'll just call this testing round system. And we're also going to need to connect to our player service, so we can get local players is game get service players. And now with our player service, we can go ahead and make our leader stat script. So what we need to do, players player added connect function. So every single time a player joins the game, we're going to need to first get the players, so we can set that there. And once we get our player, we're going to need to go ahead and add a leader stats folder to them. So we can do local L stats is just going to be instance.new folder, and we can parent this to the player, and we can go ahead and name it leader stats. So now every time a player joins the game, they're going to be automatically given a leader stats folder. And we can also go ahead and add the actual stats that we want to save. For now, for this video, I'm just going to add wins and cash. But we can also change this to whatever we want. We could even have gems if you wanted to. But to do this, I'm just going to get local wins is instance.new int value or integer value, and I'm going to parent this to the lstats folder, and wins.name is just going to be wins. And I'll do the same thing for cash. So local cash is instance.new int value lstats, and cash.name is going to be cash. And now we're going to need to go ahead and set these values. So what we can do, local data is data store service get async. And for our key, we can just use the user ID of the player, so player.userid. We can drop a line if data, then we'll set our wins.value equal to data1, and we'll set our cash.value equal to data2. And then we can drop a line and put else, so if there's no data, if the player's never played before, then we can set wins.value equal to 0. We can check cash.value equal to 0, or we could put 500 if you want to make the player start with a little bit of cash. But for me, I'm just going to set this to 0. And now we need to actually save the data. And since there's more than one value, just make this save whenever the player leaves, as to not cause any issues with lag. So let's do players.player removing, connect function, get the player just like last time. So every time the player leaves, what we need to do is get a table of their data. So local data table is going to be a new table. And what we'll do for A, B, and pairs, player find first child leader stats, we'll go ahead and table.insert, add in our data table. And we need to add the value into the table. So we'll put b.value. And now once we have our full data table, all we need to do is get data store service, set async, and add in player.userid as the key. And for our value, we'll just put our data table. And just one final thing to make sure that we don't get this error right here, we can go right here behind our leader stats and add in a get children, so that it gets every single value in our leader stats folder. So now that our leader stat system works and it saves, we can go ahead and work on our first script, which will be our free-for-all round system script. So I've made some changes to both the free-for-all and team round system scripts, and I'll make sure to leave both of these as well as the leader stat script in the comments down below. But anyways, the first thing we need to do in these scripts is give the players an item every time they spawn in. So since I would like to give the player a basic sword, I'll go back into workspace, go to toolbox, and I'll add in any random sword. This one by Roblox should be fine. And I'll make sure that I don't put this sword into the starter pack, and instead I'll make a new folder in replicated storage. I'll call it spawn items, and I'll put the sword into the folder. I'll go ahead and make this script where the player will spawn with every single item in this folder. So now we can close the toolbox and go back into our round system script. And I've already marked right here, right under wherever we spawn our players. It should be the same for the team and for the free-for-all script. It'll be right under where the players spawn in the same spot. I'll just go ahead and show with the free-for-all script. The way that I want to give the items to the player is going to be very simple. I'll just get local spawn items. It's replicated storage, find first child spawn items. And then for C, D, and pairs, spawn items get children. I'll do local clone is D clone. And all we need to do is parent this to the backpack of the player. So clone.parent is going to be b.backpack. And now every time a player gets moved to the game, they'll get teleported to a random spawn point, and then they'll get given every single item that's in this spawn items folder. And if you're using the team system, you can just write the same thing. It will work just as well. And now with that out of the way, we can go ahead and start rewarding whoever wins the game. So we can scroll down. I've already marked out where we're going to reward the winner as well. And what I want to do is give every winner 1 win as well as 500 cash. So all we need to do is get the leader stats of the winner. So local L stats is just going to be winner, find first child leader stats. And we can just set lstats.cash.value plus equals 50 and lstats.wins.value plus equals 50. You can just change this right here to the name of whatever stat you want to add. You can also put find first child if the stat name has a space in it or anything. And if you want to add rewards for the team round system, we can go to our team system script. And I've already marked out where the reward will be given here as well. So if you have the old script, you're going to want to add these 2 lines right here, just to make sure that we can tell the script what team won, since it won't take in strings. And for this script, I'm actually going to need to make a local function, since there can be 2 possible values. So I'll do local function reward player. And I'll add in the team. So all that we need to do for this is for number, player, and pairs, team, do. And now we can just do the same thing. We can get our leader stats from here and just paste this part over here. And instead of winner, we'll just get our player. And just in case you need some time to type this all out, I'll go ahead and explain that the next thing we need to do is just call on this function, and then the script will be done. So once you type this all out, just drop down a line right here. Actually, I'll drop a line right here. And I'll put reward player. And all we need to do is add in our R winner. And we'll just call on this and send in whatever team we put here that won the game. And if there isn't an R winner, we can just set right here, R winner is just nil. And we can add in a check right here that if our winner, then drop down a line right here and add a final end, just so it doesn't glitch out whenever nobody wins the game. And now with everything added, we can go ahead and test everything out, starting with the free-for-all script. So we see that with the free-for-all script, both players have spawned into the game. We've both been placed in our spawn point. We've both been given a sword. We can see that however many seconds are in the game left. And if I go and kill this player right here, we can see that once the game ends, it'll say player 1 has won the game. We get our reward, and we actually don't lose our item. So we got to make sure that the winner loses their item as well, or their entire backpack. And all we need to do to clear the winner's backpack, right before we return them to spawn, we can just do for C, D, and pairs, winner.backpack, get children, do, and then we just destroy D. And for our team script, we can do the same thing. Whenever we get the players who win, we can just do for CD in pairs, player.backpack, get children, do, and all we need to do is destroy. Now we can test everything out again. So in our testing, we start with the free-for-all script again. We can see that each player is given an item, and if we go to kill player 1, whenever he despawns, the game will restart. It takes my sword away even though I won, and then we see that it gave me the wins and the cash needed. And once we go in with our team script enabled, we can see that we only kill player 1 right here. After a few changes I made in the script, we get 1 win and 50 cash. And if we go in again, once all of our players are loaded in, we will see that all of our players will get the reward. And now with all 4 of our players loaded in, we can go ahead and kill the whole other team. And we'll see that once the game ends, it will say team 1 has won the game and we both get our reward. So just to show the changes that I made, this right here was team 1 and this was team 2. So what you want to do to make sure this works is you want to change this one right here to team 1 and this right here to team 2. Now that we have that, our entire script will be up and running. I'll paste all the scripts down below in the comments. And if you still have any issues, let me know, or join our new Discord server, which I created to be able to better help people with issues or suggestions or anything like that. But anyways, now that we're finished, thank you for watching, and if you have any ideas or suggestions, please let me know. But anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one.